The man responsible for the lawmaker attacks last summer will already spend his life in prison, but that's not stopping the state from having their day in court.
Happening today, Vance Boelter is suspected to make his first court appearance for state charges against him. Barrett Leone joining us now outside of the court ahead of today's hearing. Barrett, good morning.
Good morning, AJ, Heather. Now it is the state's turn. Vance Boelter, he will be in state court for the first time this afternoon. And this comes after, like you said, he was charged 2 life sentences plus 40 years in federal court. And prosecutors say that these state charges will ensure that Minnesota has accountability against Vance Boelter. Today is the first step towards that. Now, last month, a federal judge sentenced Boelter to 2 life sentences plus 40 years in prison. This after Boelter pleaded guilty to murdering former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark and shooting State Senator John Hoffman, his wife Yvette, while their daughter Hope called for help. Prosecutors here in Hennepin County are moving forward with their own case. Boelter faces 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder, 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder, along with charges of impersonating a peace officer and felony animal cruelty. County Attorney Mary Mariotti says even with the federal sentence complete, the state intends to hold Boelter accountable under Minnesota law.
Mr. Boelter will sit in a Hennepin County courtroom and be held accountable for his actions. We are in contact with the U.S. Attorney's Office about transferring Mr. Boelter into our custody. This was a devastating wave of targeted political violence that shocked our state and the nation. My thoughts are with the Hoffmans and with Mark and Melissa's family and loved ones as the federal phase ends and we approach state prosecution.
And we know that the state has been determined to carry out these charges despite what plays out in federal court really since the beginning. And today's hearing that is slated for 1:15 this afternoon. Of course, we will have a crew there and we'll bring you the very latest here on WCCO.
All right, we'll just be symbolic here.
We'll see what happens there.
All right. Thank you, Barrett. We are working to learn what happened to a state trooper after he was taken to the hospital. A trooper involved in a crash. This was on 35 near 220th Street. So Sunday afternoon in Forest Lake. According to the State Patrol, the trooper and the driver of another vehicle were seriously hurt. Both of them were taken to the hospital. Forest Lake Police Department is leading the investigation into what happened here.
6:05, and now the thieves breaking into a Metro church and surrounding buildings several times. Let's get you caught up from the live desk this morning. Maria Lisignoli joined us because, Maria, these break-ins were caught on camera as well.
Yes, that's right. And they've cost the church a lot of money in repairs. Surveillance video captured 4 people outside a Northeast Minneapolis church late Friday night. One of them tries to break in a locked door at Holy Cross Catholic Church with what appears to be a crowbar. The church's pastor says they've had 15 to 20 attempted and actual break-ins in recent weeks. He says it's cost the church tens of thousands of dollars in repair and believes that it's part of the urban explorer trend, where people capture footage in restricted or abandoned buildings.
The church has kind of been the holy grail a little bit, as you might imagine, and it's a social media thing where they're kind of challenging and encouraging each other to be bolder and bolder.
Now, we have reached out to Minneapolis police about the break-ins. They say they could not give us any information over the weekend, but we'll keep you updated.
All right, Maria, thank you.
Negotiations with Iran are set to start back up today.
CBS News' Tina Kraus tells us that this comes as President Trump called off what he said would have been a massive attack.
President Trump told reporters on Air Force One he chose diplomacy with Iran over firepower, saying the planned attack would have been devastating.
It would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous.
Middle East allies had urged the president to give negotiations more time, fearing new U.S. strikes could ignite a much wider conflict. President Trump says a framework for a deal to end the war is in place with Iran and U.S. allies in the region. But mediators say there is no agreement yet, only talks aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran's foreign ministry said today there are no direct talks with Washington. Instead, Iran is working with Oman, a key U.S. partner in the Gulf, on a possible temporary arrangement to keep the strait open.
Ultimately, they're going to have to concede to the opening of the straits.
50,000 American troops remain deployed across the region for a war expected to last no more than 6 weeks, now in its 6th month.
Hey, we've got 18 dead Americans. Prices have skyrocketed across the country for the American people.
Congress has been asked to approve another $67 billion to cover the costs of the campaign. And even some Republicans say they want more answers about where the conflict is headed.
I don't think anybody's satisfied with the level of information that we're receiving, although it is a dynamic conflict.
With the door to diplomacy back open, the question is whether both sides can keep talking long enough to find a way out. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
And breaking overnight, the acting Attorney General Todd Blanche issued an order to formally rescind plans to create a $1.8 billion fund that was meant to compensate allies of President Trump. This order coming after weeks of negotiations with Republican Senators Tom Tillis and John Cornyn. They had been threatening to block Blanche's confirmation for it to be the permanent position to lead the Justice Department. Senators Tillis and Cornyn have refused to vote for Blanche as the full-time Attorney General unless it is put to writing that Trump will no longer pursue the anti-weaponization fund. Now, the document released by Blanche overnight also limits the scope of another provision that provided immunity for President Trump and members of his family from tax audits.
6:08 is your time, and here in Minnesota, the local wildfire fight continues, and there is some good news this Monday morning. Even more overnight entry points will soon reopen in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. Tuesday and Wednesday, more entry points will reopen. Tomorrow, water access points on the Gunflint and the Tofty Ranger District. And then on Wednesday, you see restrictions on points, the entry points on the Kawish-Iwi and the LaCroix Ranger Districts. Those will be lifted. That's all according to the U.S. Forest Service. Now, some other entry points will remain impacted by the wildfires. That's through the end of the quota permit season. You can find those details online at the USDA website. Of course, we'll continue to cover the latest on impacts from these Northland wildfires. You can find that on air and online at WCCO.com.